Give to Barrett. Cut back over the middle of the 25 to the 20. Breaks a tackle to the 15. Stops, starts 10-5. Touchdown Lions. Holy mackerel.
Throws, end zone. It is caught. What a play back there in the back of the end zone by T.J. Hawkinson.
You're listening to the One Pridecast. Welcome back to another episode of the One Pridecast. Team reporter Dannie Rogers here, and I'm joined by none other than DetroitLions.com writer Mike O'Hara, everyone's favorite team writer in the entire world. We are going to touch on Week 7, Detroit Lions versus the LA Rams. Hold on, Mike. I know you want to say something. Hold on. And then we're going to touch on this really awesome, inspiring Derrick Barnes, Andrew Whitworth story. And then we're going to wrap things up by previewing Philadelphia versus Detroit. That's coming up in Week 8. That'll be a good one. Mike, what would you like to say already?
Everybody's favorite in the whole world?
Yes. What
about the moon? What about Mars, Pluto?
Are you comparing yourself to planets?
No.
Extraterrestrial?
I'm just I don't have an awful lot to say today, so I'm just eating up time.
I can
here.
tell. I can tell you're a little on edge today. We'll make
Which
this
edge?
Quick. The bad one. The one that,
Watch yourself.
Yeah, fall off and you don't come back up. Okay, let's get back into this LA Rams game. What?
La Brea, the new TV series.
I have not watched that. What is that
Neither
about?
have I.
Okay, should we?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right, fine.
It's okay.
Fine, I won't watch it. Okay, LA, Detroit took a road game out there to sunny Southern California.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, there was really a storyline going into the game. It was the Lions' first game against Matthew Stafford's first game against the Lions. And, Jared Goff, of course, going back home. And I thought probably it might have been a little more dramatic for him, I would think, because that's where he played. For Stafford, it might have been more dramatic if the game was at Ford Field.
Yes.
But just the way the game went, you could really tell what the game meant to the Detroit Lions in particular, because they're trying to get off this schneid. They were 0-6, now they're 0-7. And with those trick plays, an onside kick. All right, way to go, guys. Give them a little hand. I'm trying to applaud. Okay.
Onside kicks are very hard to recover. Let's
they really
not
are.
downplay
Sure.
it.
What
Okay,
is it,
but
they get like 8% of them, something like that.
Insanity.
Yeah, insanity. I like that.
I know, it is.
It is. Mm-hmm. Why do you look at me when you say insanity?
Oh, did you feel that? My bad.
Yeah, I felt it. But that was really cool. And then all of a sudden, there's a fake punt.
And then at that point, I have trust issues with our special teams unit.
Okay, come on. And then there's another fake punt.
There's another fake punt.
But you know what? Do everything you can to win it. It all worked. It really did. I talked to a friend of mine who's really high, really big into all this stuff. And I'm not going to mention his name, but he's really known for it. And he's never heard of this in his life.
That many trick
plays.
Many.
And they all work. That's the thing. All of them.
So that brings me to my point. Not a point. Just a question. Just a thought. If those didn't work, or maybe Lions went 1 for 3 or 2 for 3, would we be on a bunch of memes everywhere? Or, do you know what a meme is?
Yeah.
Okay, great. It would kind of...
It's a person who's mean to people, right?
No, that's not it. No, I know you know. Yeah. It's just...
Look, I'm with it all the way up into the 1980s, okay? You can keep going.
Okay. That's great to know. It's just... It would have been a completely different story if none of those were executed.
Right.
It would have been bad.
Right. But they also, it seems unusual just to say this, but they also saw something in all of those that they had scouted and looked and game planned for, and bing, bing, bing. There was 3 of them, and they were there. They were there. Period. They weren't even close.
Wow. And they did it a different way. One was a pass off of a fake punt. The other one was a run by C.J. Moore. What a time! Like when your punter Jack Fox.
Yeah. A high school quarterback.
A high school quarterback.
Doesn't every high school quarterback want to play in a National Football League?
100%. And there
I should have played
he got
football.
You should have. But Jack Fox threw a pass before Matthew Stafford even got a chance to throw a pass.
1 for 1, too.
I know.
Perfection.
17-yard explosive. Let's go.
And Stafford had to settle for 3 measly touchdowns. Come on.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
It was good to see him. It really was. And maybe, I don't know if you saw the video clip that I don't know if it went viral or not, of him as the game's over, the kneel down and all that, and he's shaking hands with the guys on the defensive side of the ball and wishing them well and how much he missed them and all that. I thought it was just really, that was vintage Matthew Stafford, by the way. For people who haven't been around him, that's him.
Yeah.
He's a very gracious person, tough competitor, all that, but really knows when to turn it on, when to turn it off, and
Right.
that was perfect.
And I missed him by a year, but I still feel like from the outside looking in, that's exactly how.
Well, you know how people
he's always
regard
been.
him. You know,
Yeah.
it's just, a lot of guys get treated and they feel like, or traded, and you feel like they're the enemy. Well, it's nothing like that with Stafford at all.
No.
I mean, not even close.
No, I agree. Taking a look at those final stats, I mean, Lions blew the Rams out of the water in terms of the ground game, 137 yards to LA's 47. Passing yards, okay, yes, Matthew Stafford finally looked like Matthew Stafford there, and he sliced and diced this Lions defense, 327 yards in the air. Jared Goff, 278 passing yards minus Jack Fox's 17. So you do the math. But you see Lions total yards, 415 to LA's 374. However, Lions did have 2 turnovers. One of those really put a dagger in the game.
Yeah,
that
the
fourth
ball.
quarter
Yeah,
drive.
you're right, Danny. The fourth quarter, ball at the 12-yard line. Get up. Look, they really handled Aaron Donald pretty well, and that's not easy to do.
Penei Sewell handled
what I
Aaron
like,
Donald at one
what
point.
I like, he trash talked him right down. Okay.
I wonder what he said. I need to ask him. Hey, what did you say to the best
I don't think we can
player in the
repeat it
NFL?
on here. Okay.
Probably not. I would hope not. But Penei,
If you
he's
hear,
only
you
21.
tell me, okay? Because I know you talk that way anyway.
I know.
I've heard you.
Hey, I'm from Detroit. I don't know if that means anything, but I'm from here. Lions also owned time of possession by about 5 minutes. They had just under 33 minutes time of possession. There were a lot of good things happening against one of the best teams in the NFL right now.
It really is. I don't think they're all that. Honestly, I don't.
The LA
and just
Rams?
watch them. Yeah, I think
Okay.
they're good, but I don't think they're really good. I think, I don't think they've got enough stuff to go all the way. Now,
The
they've
Green
got
Bay Packers
they've got
don't
enough
they?
for Matthew to elevate that team from last year when they were, I think they finished 9-7 as a wild card. I think they'll be knocking, for the NFC West division title, but I just don't think they're quite all that. I don't think they've got enough. They've got stars, but you need a little bit more. And I think now the trade deadline's coming up, and you never know what's going to happen with that. But I just think they need a little bit more.
That'll be interesting. You should go tell Sean McVay that they're not going to win the Super Bowl. See what he says.
I will next time I see
all right,
him.
okay, cool. You just tap on his shoulder and be like, DeAndre Swift, great game, 96 yards, a touchdown, a 63-yard touchdown reception to open the game.
Kind of a weird throw and a good catch, and then once he got rolling, man, he was steaming.
He just steams through people, and they don't get back up, really.
Yeah, that's what Anthony Lynn, the offensive coordinator, said when he hits them and they don't get up.
Right.
I like that.
I
I like that kind of ball. And here's the kids. He's 5'9", 211, but he's really compactly built.
Yes.
And
I think I might be taller than him.
And he gets leverage, or as my friends across the river in Canada would say, leverage.
Oh, do they?
Just in
say
case
that?
people in Canada are listening.
We hope so. Windsor's literally 10 minutes away. Don't think about that. It's
I'm
true.
out of here.
Another person I want to point out that did great against the Rams, Khalif Raymond, over 115 yards. He's moved into that number 1 wide receiver spot after Quintez Cephas was injured against the Bengals.
Yeah, and I think guys like, Khalif and some others, look, there's a lot of these guys are on 1-year, show me, prove it contracts, and I think he's one of them. When they fill out their roster, I don't think he's going to be the number 1 receiver, but he can be in the National Football League for 3, 4, 5, 6 more years, and he has taken advantage of the opportunity in front of him, and I think he's a guy who plays for today with an eye on the future, and that's a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
He's making a place for himself in the National Football League. If not with the Detroit Lions, it'll be somebody. Because look, people look at that video, and the things he does are an asset for any football team. Just one thing I'd like to mention, that's about DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. And this is something I'm writing for our Sunday, one of my Sunday columns. Look, it doesn't matter how you get a yard, whether you get it rushing, receiving. A yard's a yard.
Yep.
And the Detroit Lions have a running back duo in Williams and Swift that are getting yards. They've got already almost like 1,100 yards going into this game, and they're going to really, if it just and I think they'll get better. I really do. I mean, I think DeAndre Swift is really starting to become a National Football League running back. In other words, he's getting some experience, and he's starting to feel his way. And everything isn't brand new to him now. He's learning how to use that great ability he has to set people up and really add more to what's already there. And if a running play is designed to get 3 or 4, he can get 6.
Yes.
And if you miss him, he's gone.
Right.
Or he can run over you. It's really a great combination. So I think that you're getting more, we talk about the running game a lot, but the running backs are giving you yards, and that's really important. And I think they're both pretty good pass protectors, too.
Right. And I think this is what was anticipated of them in training camp. We heard the 1-2 punch all throughout training camp. We knew DeAndre Swift, well, it was depending on injury there for a little while there, but we knew Swift to be the 1A, and then Jamal would be the 1B. Just because the Lions invested in DeAndre Swift, they knew what he was about.
Yeah.
And then Jamal comes in and complements it like no other.
Well, Deuce Staley had a line on DeAndre going back to high school. He knew him, knew the family and all that. And he's a huge fan of DeAndre Swift, and vice versa, by the way. I mean, Swift has known this guy since I think he was 10 or 11 years old, growing up in the Philadelphia, New Jersey area. And Deuce Staley is just, I think he's a remarkable person. I love talking to him. I love listening to him. He's just got that I did it look.
He's going to be a head coach someday.
I think so, yeah. I think he'll get his chance, and we'll see how it first of all, get a chance, then we'll see how it works out. But he's got that, I did it look, and I like that.
Are you calling him swagger? Does he have
calling
swag?
him what now?
Swagger.
I'm calling what I just called him.
Okay.
I
think he has a lot of swagger, and I think he would agree.
Yeah, he's got a presence. He really is.
Yes.
You could walk up to Deuce Staley, have no idea what he has done in his life, and you just think to yourself, that's somebody.
Right, I agree. And that somebody played for the Eagles for 7 seasons, which we will touch on because Lions played the Eagles.
And 3 with the Steelers.
Huge. Yeah. I know. Is that kind of like, both Pennsylvania teams, are you supposed to do that? Or how does that work?
I don't know. It's sort of like, the McCoys and Hatfields.
Okay.
I guess. I don't know. They're not in the same conference.
No.
They're not in the same division.
They're not very
so
far
maybe
from
not.
each other,
They're 300 miles apart, something like that.
I feel like if you come out of playing for both of those teams, Pitt and Philly, you have taken a beating.
Oh yeah. No, they're
just about everyone, and you are a whole new person.
Yeah, look, Deuce was there in look. I looked this up the other day. I think he played in 9 playoff games, 7 as a starter, and productive too. Scored touchdowns, gained yards, got receptions, and all that. So he's played in big time games. In fact, he played in the NFC Championship. I covered this game for the Detroit News. Played in the NFC Championship that was at the last game at the old Veterans Stadium there in Philadelphia. And everything is set up because they're going to demolish the stadium after this game and move to their next one the next year. And everything is set up for it. The Eagles are gigantic favorites over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, pre-Tom Brady by about 15 years.
I was going to say, what? Okay.
Yeah, and they get beat. And the stadium is absolutely dead.
Oh my gosh.
And we're expecting this big party, and all of a sudden, all you see is people just walking out, shaking their heads.
Oh my.
Yeah. What a letdown.
100%. Oh my gosh, coming in hot with the Nuggets.
Don't ask me why I remember that, but there's.
You remember for
there was
some
just
reason.
There was just a little space up there in my head for it.
I love that. That's awesome. Okay, I think that wraps it up for the LA Rams talk, because coming up next, we are going to talk about a really cool moment that happened in LA between Derrick Barnes and the veteran offensive lineman Andrew Whitworth. Stay tuned. One Pridecast will be right back. Rory's Cub Club registration is back open for the 2021 season. Get your children in the official Detroit Lions fan club for kids up to age 14. Each Cub Club registration comes with a membership kit filled with one-of-a-kind Detroit Lions items, plus exclusive events and ticket discounts. Visit DetroitLions.com/Cub Club to sign up now. Welcome back to the One Pridecast. Dannie Rogers joined by Mike O'Hara. And I just want to touch on a really quick story moment that happened in Los Angeles between Derrick Barnes, who is a rookie coming out of Purdue, and a veteran, and Andrew Whitworth, 16 years in the league, who spent the majority of his time up until 2017 with the Cincinnati Bengals, and then, of course, went to the Rams and honestly, it hasn't really skipped a beat since then. So there was an article by The Athletic, written by The Athletic, Mike, which was just a really, really great one. Chris Burke, Jordan Rodriguez, they partnered on this. And essentially, Andrew Whitworth, during the game Sunday in LA, kept noticing linebacker Derrick Barnes just kind of stare at him. And it looked like Derrick Barnes wanted to say something to Andrew Whitworth. And Whitworth was noticing this during the whole game. And so after the game ends, Derrick Barnes marches right up to Andrew Whitworth and is like, "You're probably not going to remember me, but when I was in Kentucky and you were with the Cincinnati Bengals, you would come and you would tutor and mentor us at the Boys and Girls Club in Derrick's hometown in Kentucky." And I thought that was the coolest thing. And of course, Andrew Whitworth remembers doing that. But the fact that there's, a 12-year age gap? Is it 12? Maybe there's...
At least, yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
And Derrick Barnes just remembers going home and telling his dad, "Hey, like, Andrew Whitworth, he mentors me at Boys and Girls Club where I go every day after school." Just the coolest thing in the world.
Yeah, you know what it really shows to you, and I don't have any experience exactly like that, but it just goes to show you that you may not realize it, and you may not become a role model or anything like that, but you can make an impression on someone, good, bad, indifferent. And I think probably indifferent might be the worst, People look and say, who cares, But in this case, and this is really a good case, the little things that happen in life find a place in somebody's, find in their heart and their soul and their mind and all of, and forever, and they never lose that. And I think it's pretty cool, and I think there's a lesson out there for all of us who have been touched or have touched someone, and that's really a neat thing to me. People don't know, Kentucky and Ohio are right, across the river from
like
each other. Covington, Kentucky,
Yes.
and been down there a million times. Lexington a little further south, but for Whitworth, probably didn't even realize that.
Yeah, an 18-year age gap between the two, and coincidentally, Derrick Barnes wears number 55. Andrew Whitworth was drafted number 55 overall to the Bengals. So just a really cool story. And yeah, everything you just said, Mike, is great. Okay, let's get to this preview of the Philadelphia Eagles. Nick Sirianni, he is 2-5. Defense in Philly is not really doing too great right now. They let Derek Carr complete 31 of 34 passes the other day. That's really not good.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, I feel like someone asked Anthony Lynn, offensive coordinator, about that yesterday. You did, Mike. And what was his response?
Well, Tim 21 keeps chiding me because I've asked everybody. I can't get anybody to really bite on it. But Anthony Lynn, the offensive coordinator, said, "I said, what do you think when you see that statistic?" And he said, "Nice."
Just nice.
With a big smile.
Right?
And I asked Jared Goff about it, and I might as well have asked him about his grocery list.
But yeah.
Well, the tomatoes weren't ripe, and I had to go back,
Right.
I don't know. But I think 31 out of 34, and another pass was intercepted. So the ball only hit the ground twice.
That's painful to hear.
I mean, there's an opportunity here, Jared, to get excited and throw the ball and get some completions.
Get excited, yes, and keep trucking along with those first half scores. More first half scores. Let's go.
Their great defensive lineman Fletcher Cox was really chapped about the game and said so after the game. That's one of the things we wrote on DetroitLions.com this week in our scouting report. No aggression, no aggressiveness, and it really bugged him. Had a talk with the head coach Sirianni, and I understand what he's saying, but this has not been a banner year yet for Fletcher Cox, and he is really one of the really stars of the interior defensive line, not just in Philadelphia, but in the league.
Yes.
He's a known player, big, he's enormous. And he can break open a play by himself. He's only got 1 sack this year. The team has 11, I think it is. And if they play that way against the Detroit Lions Sunday, I think there's an opportunity to really do some damage in the passing game.
Huge opportunity. After that Las Vegas loss, head coach Nick Sirianni says they're in talks to mix more man-to-man coverage in, and they want to be more aggressive, like you just said, with their man coverage to challenge opposing quarterbacks. So they do not complete 31 of 34 passes. Looks like Eagles will be without running back Miles Sanders.
Big loss.
Yeah.
300 yards rushing and 4.8 yards per attempt.
Yikes. Yeah, he will not be in this. Coach Sirianni said it is a stretch if they get him for Detroit. His ankle was stepped on in Week 7. So I think we're all planning on not seeing Miles Sanders out there. But, of course, you still have Devontae Smith, wide receiver, rookie. You have Jalen Reagor, former first-round pick. in the past game as well. And then you have a very mobile quarterback in Jalen Hurts, who leads his team in rushing.
And a pretty good tight end in Dallas Goedert. Hadn't been great.
He just took over that number 1 spot.
Yeah, and I like I like Devontae Smith. I was thinking of our guy Swift. He's got 32 receptions. He really hasn't broken. He hasn't torn open secondaries yet. He will. Yeah. He really will. But he's got 32 catches. I think he's got 1 touchdown and 12 yards per catch. That doesn't make me stay awake at night wondering how in the heck are we going to cover this guy.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then
although we should.
Right. This is true.
Let somebody else stay awake at night thinking about it.
Please get your sleep. We have an early morning Sunday.
Game's at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, but we get there early, Mike. I don't know what time. What do you get there at 12:45?
12:59.
Okay, fine.
I strolled in.
You beat me by a lot. Some numbers to look at. First off, record is 2-5. They had 3 fumbles in week 7. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. There have been talks of offensive line woes. So we'll see how that plays out. And then, how do the Lions get a win over this team?
Well, they score more points and give up fewer points. I like the Lions this week. Let's go back 2 weeks ago, when I liked them against the Cincinnati Bengals, and they just absolutely.
We don't talk about Cincinnati.
They got trucked in the second half.
Who are the Bengals? Who they?
They're the team that plays in the city. It was close to where.
I'm trying to forget that game. Mike.
Okay.
So is everyone else.
Anyway, no, it's. I just think it figures, Heard Alex Anzalone the other day talking about this game coming up. He says, look, we're desperate to win a game. They want to win a game and get to their bye week and just relax.
Take a deep breath.
Take the weight off,
Take the boots off.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe watch some TV.
Do whatever you want to do.
Eat some snacks.
Yeah, go to a movie.
But you can't do that when...
Get some Big Macs, don't train, don't work just take a few days off.
Are you sure?
Huh?
Big Macs? Are we sure about that?
Well, I don't eat them, but I'm just telling you.
I don't either.
I'm trying to get a sponsorship for us.
McDonald's, please sponsor Mike O'Hara, who does not eat the Big Macs.
He does not eat the Big Macs.
But he likes the ice cream cones?
I don't go to McDonald's.
Okay.
I don't go to much fast food, really.
Is that the secret?
Is it a secret?
Is that the secret?
The secret to what?
Long, healthy life.
Me being on the planet this long, overstaying my...
I didn't say it. You said it, yes.
Yeah.
No fast food.
Well, it's not a secret because I just told you.
Well, I know it's not anymore, but you didn't tell us before this. Okay, so we know both of these teams have urgency, a ton of it. But they've also both had woes of finishing those middle minutes between the first quarter and the fourth quarter. So, Lions got on the board in that first quarter against LA.
That's quite a long period of time to have woes.
It's a long period of time.
Woe is me.
But it's exactly. That's what I'm saying. The Eagles were able to really get things churning in the beginning of their games, and then they go on a stall, similar to what the Lions have done. And then here they are, popping back up in the fourth quarter to get some more points on the board. So I know those middle minutes have been an issue. How many minutes? I know there's 60 minutes in a game. Realistically, how many minutes do the Lions have to get their stuff together to get a win against the Eagles?
Well, honestly, that's pretty good. I've never even thought about that, but they just can't have these long lapses where nothing's going on.
Nothing.
Where you're just kind of dwelling, you're just kind of there.
Twiddling your fingers.
Yeah, and you just can't have that. I think, look, play 60 minutes of good football. Hard to do.
Okay, let's get to your BetMGM pick of the game. Let me hear it. What's your prediction?
Well, I think that there's some advantages for the Detroit Lions. I think this is one game where Jared Goff should really outplay the other quarterback. He's got 60 career starts or whatever it is.
Yeah, he's over that now.
211, Yeah, he's won games. He's played in big games. For me, this is a big game for the Detroit Lions. There's a couple of things going on that I don't know how much play into it for the players because they're not all from Detroit, but it's Alumni Day. Chris Spielman, one of the great all-time Detroit Lions, is going to be inducted into the Ring of Honor, the Pride of the Lions Ring of Honor.
Yep.
And it's a big deal for him, and it's a big deal for the Detroit Lions.
Salute to service as well.
And for the longtime fans, it's really a good thing. So it adds a little bit of a backdrop to all of this. I like the Lions. I don't care where they play this game. it was on a neutral field, which is no such thing except the Super Bowl. If it was wherever it is, I think the Lions have a little bit more stuff going than the Eagles, even though it hasn't shown up in the one-loss record. I like the Detroit Lions to win 26 to something. How's that?
26.
Yep, 26 is enough to win. You can figure out the rest.
Okay.
Because they're underdogs by 3.5 points. They'll win. They'll cover. Who cares what the Eagles get?
I mean, Eagles are allowing, in their losses, allowing at least 32, 33 points.
They've had a couple of 40s in there, too.
I know.
40 burgers,
That's what
you
I'm
want to call them?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, so you know what?
Okay.
Go back to Philadelphia. Let the fans boo you as much as they want.
I know.
Wait till Christmas when they start booing Santa Claus. They don't like you either.
Tough city, man.
Oh, yeah.
Tough.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
Detroit's tough. But,
not that way.
Philly
Detroit
the
fans are really loyal to their team.
So
they
loyal.
really are.
It's really a blessing and a curse.
They're 0-6, and at the last, in the last minute when they got the ball, the fans are cheering like mad.
Oh my gosh!
It's a great place for a player to play.
I got
really
chills
is.
just thinking about it. I hope we don't have an instance like that Sunday, but you know, like just one of those games where it's just you win and you lead the whole game. You win the game. That'd be great.
Just don't let them line up a 66-yard field goal, okay? Or 54.
Why do you have to do this? Why do you have to do this?
Making your heart thump.
Yeah, it's just not fun when
good.
you do this. Okay, all right. Big thanks to Mike O'Hara for joining us, giving us all the nuggets, really walking us down memory lane here. It'll be a big game Sunday. Like we just said, Chris Spielman will be inducted into the Pride of the Lions. You got Salute to Service. You said Alumni Week too?
It's Alumni Week. It's part of the whole
awesome.
celebration. It's a cool thing. And I think every team does it.
Yeah.
But you talk about the Detroit Lions. Some of these great heroes go back to Joe Schmidt in the 1950s when they won 3 championships. It's really, really a good thing, and I've had the pleasure covering a lot of these guys. So
wow, what
pretty
a thing
cool.
of beauty! I love it. Okay, so essentially, we will see all of you at Ford Field this Sunday, 1 p.m. Halloween kickoff. We hope it's not spooky at all. Actually, no spookiness.
Oh yeah, I got something planned for you.
Oh, don't! Oh
Yeah.
my gosh! All right, I have to go. Mike needs obviously to be lectured by me now. Thank you for tuning into the One Pridecast. I'm Dannie Rogers. We'll see you back here next week on another brand new episode. See you then.